Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere, where the wrestling ring meets the heart. Hosted by the gentleman Jody Powell, join us as we dive into the latest pro wrestling news and rumors, from the electrifying world of WWE to the inspiring stories of wrestling for Christ. This is your all-access pass to the action, the faith, and the hope. This is Falls Count Anywhere.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Falls Count Anywhere. I'm your host, the gentleman Jody Powell. With me, as always, is my good buddy, the mad scientist, Mike Buchanan, deep in the Buchanan Laboratory. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. How are things over there in South Carolina for y'all?
Oh, man, if it was any better, it would be North Carolina. No, I love South Carolina. Things are great here. We finally got a break in the heat. I'm sorry for you folks out there in Phoenix, Mike. No, you probably won't ever get a break from the heat because you're in the desert there. But yeah, and then thanks to Umberto for grabbing that hurricane and dragging it with it to the east, so that it didn't hit right here in the Carolinas on basically the 1 year anniversary of Hurricane Helene. So
yeah, that would have been a bad anniversary present.
It really would have, and this hurricane season we have been blessed and protected for sure. I have no doubt about that, because last year was devastating. So we're thankful not to have a repeat performance or a sequel.
Right.
And if it's anything like any other kind of sequels, they're going to be bad. So let's not
always.
But Mike, buddy, everybody wants to know what are you cooking up in the lab, man? What's going on?
Well, you might have missed it, Jody. September 24th, I think it was the actual start of one of your least favorite seasons, that being fall.
Yeah.
So I went back to my roots. And I remember this little device that used to solicit ha-has and hee-hees from us rednecks down in the South. And that's that butt zapper we used to have out there on the porch. And I thought, what can I do for Jody that might make his fall better?
Okay.
And so I thought, let's develop something like a butt zapper, but we'll call it a leaf zapper.
Yes.
And instead of something have to falling into the zapper, we'll make this leaf zapper laser powered. So whenever the leaf zapper detects any leaf falling from the tree, it just zaps it immediately, obliterates it, disintegrates it.
Oh, brother, that is amazing. Now you have just combined everything redneck within me into some high-tech, really cool stuff. I mean, the thought of something shooting automatically something that shouldn't be there and obliterating it is speaking to my Southern soul. And now I have all kind of thoughts. So I wonder what would happen if I take the neighbor's cat and tossed it in the air. Would it detect it and zap it?
Let's hope not. I'm a cat person. If your neighbor has a chihuahua, knock yourself out.
Oh man, cats are only useful in Chinese food. Anyway, what? I didn't say that. We're gonna edit that out.
Speaking of editing out, WWE has a lot to edit out.
Well, let's talk about that, because there's been some convenient editing done to SmackDown from Fridays a week ago. It's not edited off the internet, but it's edited off the replays of SmackDown, and that is, of course, the ending to the Jade Cargill Nia Jax Tiffy match that was the main event. And apparently WWE is so strapped for storylines, so strapped for creatives, that the only main events they can come up with are in the women's division. Those are their best storylines, which says a lot. And so, and I don't mean that as a compliment. So, we had this ending. First of all, we had this incident. I'm going to address this first. Nia Jax throwing Jade Cargill into the stairs. Cargill's head was just cut wide open. I mean, I'm sure she probably had about 10 or 12 stitches right in her
Hard
face.
way. Yep.
Yeah, it was not planned. It was not part of the show, so to speak. A lot of people blaming Nia Jax because of how careless Nia Jax has been in the past. I mean, we know the Becky Lynch incident, the famous broke her nose, and it really kind of made Becky Lynch who she is. But I really don't think this is Nia Jax's fault. Nia Jax could not control how Cargill went into the steps. You've got to be able to control your spot, and I really believe this one's on Jade Cargill. It's not on Nia Jax. She's got to protect herself better, and I think we have established the fact that Jade Carwreck is just not one of those who you want. If you are preserving an injury, or if you are trying not to get hurt, well, don't get in the match with either Jade or Nia. But I think in this instant, this was a Jade Cargill issue.
I don't know. If you throw somebody the right way, it makes it a whole lot easier for them to control their approach, if you will.
True, but they still have to control it.
Yeah.
You got to throw them in a way that it's going to look real. Like, it's got to look realistic. I can't stand when the men do this, especially when they get thrown into the stairs and they like hit their knee and they go flipping over the stairs. That's not real. I mean, that would not really happen if somebody was legitimately throwing you into steps. You're not going to go running and just let the steps clip your legs and you flip over and come on, give me a break. This one, I mean, Nia Jax did what she was supposed to do. She threw her into the steps to make it look real. Cargill didn't protect herself, didn't stop herself, hit face first. That's on her. It's on her. The botch ending, however, is on the referee. And I say that understanding that WWE under Vince McMahon had this rule for referees, it's called the 3-count rule. And that was, no matter what, you are counting a pin as if you're going to count the 3 until there's a reason not to count. And truthfully, it shouldn't just be a WWE rule. That's the way referees should be trained in every organization, in every situation. Yes, they have an earpiece. Yes, they're communicating with the back. The back's communicating with them. Gorilla's communicating with referees, telling them how things should move and how things should change. All of that is happening, and that is the responsibility of the referee to communicate that. But at the end of the day, you count the 3 count until there's a reason not to. Even if you know this is the wrong spot, this is not the way the match should end, it is on the wrestler to kick out, or it is on the wrestler to break up the pin or put their foot on the rope or whatever. That's your job. Now, at the same time, I also know or have heard or have seen interviews where WWE says they're getting rid of that rule. It's no longer, hey, refs, count out the 3. It's listen to what's going on in the earpiece and make sure they do the right. If that's the case, then WWE is dumber than we thought they were. You cannot. It totally puts the referee in such a terrible position to say don't count the 3 count when somebody forgets to kick out like that. Look how bad this referee looked. I mean, she looked incompetent, and she's not. She is a decent referee. All right. And we've seen her mess up before, but listen, referees are human. They have a lot to deal with. They have a lot to do within the match. They are the main communication conduit with Gorilla, and things change on the fly and things happen like unplanned injuries. We get it. Tiffy time. Well, Tiffy timing was off because she was supposed to break up the pin before that, before Nia Jax kicked out. And you'll notice she comes in and she kicks drop kicks Carwreck, whatever her name is, kicked her off the pin late after Nia had to kick out. But here's the thing. The referee goes down to count. And I went back and I watched the video, and if she was counting verbally, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't see it. But when a referee is count, first of all, you go down right at the head, right at their shoulders to make sure both shoulders down. And by the way, that is the referee's job. We saw Jey Uso get mad at a referee because he wouldn't count the pinfall a couple of weeks ago on Raw, but the referee was right because the way he was pinning him, the shoulders weren't down. The referee did the right thing, didn't count, said shoulder down. He was telling LA Knight, put your shoulder down, and then counted. Jay got mad. Referee did his job. Don't get mad at the referee. She goes down at the shoulders, at the head, and you've got to verbally 1, 2, And if it looks like Nia's not kicking out, you got to go kick out, kick out, kick out before you count that 3. And if she does it, you got to count the 3. It's that simple. That's the way a referee is supposed to be trained. Now you say, how do I know? Yeah, I don't know. But let me tell you who does know, playa. I reached out to a good buddy of mine, Mikey. I reached out to Teddy Long. People may say, Teddy Long was the manager. Teddy Long was SmackDown's general manager. I mean, yeah, maybe he knows, but listen, Teddy Long started as a referee, and he confirmed with me, referee should count 3, period. So this one's on the ref. Now, again, don't know what was said in her ear. Don't know what Gorilla was saying. You know, if they were saying, don't count 3, stop that. Whatever, that's on them. But if I'm that referee and that's happening and I'm made to look like an idiot, I am crawling some agent's rear end when I get back to that Gorilla position because you just made me look dumb. And that's not cool. But either way, bottom line is, hey, everyone's human. Mistakes happen. But WWE needs to get their stuff together. They need to get things together, get it under control, and make sure that everybody understands what's happening. And if people aren't executing the plan the way that it's supposed to be executed, then they don't need to be in the main event. It's that simple.
Speaking of simple, we're supposed to have a simple retirement tour for You Can't See Me John Cena. It's supposed to end on a Saturday night main event, for real.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Who's going to be his final opponent, or who should it be, and how will the WWE manage to mess this one up?
Well, let's answer both of those, Mike. Who should it be? In my opinion, you're not going to like this.
Oh, no.
I know you said you haven't told me your answer. You said I'm not going to like yours. You're not going to like mine. Who should it be? It should be Brock Lesnar. It should be Brock Lesnar, and it should be John Cena conquering the Beast. Why should it be that? Because that puts the bow on the story. He's the one man John Cena has never been able to overcome. If you want to put the bow on the career, if you want to send him off with a grand story, if you want that Hollywood ending, it should be Brock Lesnar, and John Cena should not be dominated in that match. In fact, they should be building that now to where John Cena is doing nothing but focusing, much the way they did Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, about finishing his story. That's what it should be.
I don't hate it.
Who will it be? I don't think it's going to be Brock Lesnar. It's a possibility, but I don't think it will be. I think it's actually going to be Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody Rhodes is going to send John Cena out with a loss. Kind of the way Michaels did with Flair.
See, I think that to be like a Randy Orton is maybe who it should be.
I could see that.
Now, here's where you'll really hate it. I warned you about this, brother.
All right.
Who his final opponent will be? Do you remember WrestleMania this past year? Where he gets the belt off of Cody?
Yep.
Remember that little twerp that interfered on his behalf?
Oh,
Travis Scott? That comes full circle. He goes from heel with Travis Scott assisting him to babyface, where he lays Travis Scott out for costing the wrestling fans what should have been a great WrestleMania main event. Travis Scott, John Cena, and Cena wins. There you go. Told you you'd hate it.
I do. With a passion.
I knew.
If they do that,
I know.
I'm done.
I warned you.
If they do that, we will. I promise you, Mike, if WWE does that, we will never talk about WWE on this show ever again. Mark it down. Mark the tape. I mean it. And here's one caveat. I'm going to put an asterisk on who should it be. I also think, I don't think it should be his final opponent, but I do think at some point Cena should have been facing The Miz. Could have built that up too. And I know Miz is not too happy about the fact that he's not on the tour. He's the one who beat John Cena in WrestleMania and brags about it. Miz is so wasted on that. They waste him so. Anyway, that is a segment for another time, my friends. Something else we're going to talk about probably next week because we are way over on WWE time. But we're also going to talk about the return of Chad Gable, the eventual return. How should that be handled? Let's talk about that next week, Mikey. Let's tease everyone. We're going to talk about the return of Chad Gable and how it should be handled, and probably how it will. But fans, and when we come back from this break, We're going to talk about what debuted on Abundant TV Saturday night. Battleground, EPW. Stay tuned. Hello, wrestling fans. The gentleman Jody Powell here, and you may be wondering, where in the world did WFC go? Right here. We're on YouTube, our very own channel at Wrestling for Christ WFC. I want you to open your YouTube app. I want you to click on the search function. Type in Wrestling for Christ WFC, all one word, and boom, that's exactly what you'll see. Smash that subscribe button so you'll be notified when new episodes of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour are loaded up to YouTube. Also coming soon are going to be exclusive interviews, promos. I might even cut a promo myself. Talk about how Dilly Dollar swings a chair like a girl. All this and more coming up, fans, right here on our YouTube channel. Check it out. Wrestling for Christ WFC, every episode ever made of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour, right there at your fingertips. Check it out. Well, welcome back, fans, to Falls Count Anywhere. And Mike, we had a great guest last week on Falls Count Anywhere, Mr. Kyle Pankenine, who is the director and general manager and many other titles that he outlined this past Saturday night when Ephesians Pro Wrestling debuted on Abundant TV. Saturday Night Battleground, 6 p.m. every Saturday night. Their debut this past Saturday was a great look into the workings of Ephesians Pro Wrestling, who's involved, what they're about. And the great thing about this coming away from it, Mike, is that I felt like there's a continuity here with EPW in that this is a way to utilize professional wrestling to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, much the way that the WFC does. And so it's a wonderful thing to see a continuity in that, because it's not just wrestling. And you got that sense when you watched that entire documentary last Saturday night. And every Saturday night's not going to be that. And listen, they've got some great talents. I'll tell you a couple of guys that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing and meeting, hopefully one day. Dewey Declan. I'm excited about meeting Dewey Declan. He caught my attention, Mike. I like that. Ryan Hart is another one. Ryan Hart, who also involved in the leadership of this, trained at Ohio Valley Wrestling back when OVW was a feeder to the WWE.
So no relation to the Hart family, I should say, right?
No, not
Okay.
that I'm aware of. But Ryan Hart, looking forward to seeing what he can do in the ring as well. And HBO, the Hillbilly Outlaw. Listen, I like that, man. Anything that has hillbilly in it, I like that. Reminds me of
Hillbilly
Dusty
Jim?
Money. Well, Hillbilly Jim, but Dusty Money, who we've seen in WFC. You know, I love Dusty Money because where he's from, the hills with the stills. listen, he must be neighbors with some of my family, because I think I've got family from the hills and the stills. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's just kind of the way it is. But yeah, looking forward to EPW, Ephesians Pro Wrestling. You saw Mr. Kyle on here last week with us on Falls Count Anywhere. If you didn't see that, then go check it out on our YouTube channel at Falls Count Anywhere on YouTube. In fact, you can see all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. How about that for a plug? But Ephesians Pro Wrestling, you know, it was a great insight into what they do, about who they are, based right there in Rockwell, Texas, right outside of Dallas, right in the heartland. And this is going to be good old fashioned Texas old style wrestling. You know, think back to the Von Erichs days and just Texas wrestling, just hard, stiff. You know, these guys don't mess around, so it's going to be a good show. They've got a lot of things planned. I can't wait to see particularly those three talents, but all of the talent with EPW in the ring, including Mr. Kyle whenever he's back from a little injury that he suffered. He's coming back first of the year. So check out EPW Battleground on Abundant TV this coming Saturday at 6 p.m. And another thing you need to check out, fans, right after the break, our favorite part of the show, Finding Tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Hello, wrestling fans. The gentleman Jody Powell here, and I want you to go to Instagram, and I want you to follow me, Gentleman Jody Powell. We're going to get backstage exclusive video of WFC, of Falls Count Anywhere. We're going to talk about the WWE. We're going to hear from WFC superstars. We're going to talk about Finding Tomorrow. We're going to go live. I don't even know what that means, but we're going to do it all on Instagram. Come down, follow me, Gentleman Jody Powell. You'll be glad you did.
Hello, wrestling fans. The gentleman Jody Powell here, and you may be wondering, where in the world did WFC go? Right here. We're on YouTube, our very own channel at Wrestling for Christ WFC. I want you to open your YouTube app. I want you to click on the search function. Type in Wrestling for Christ WFC, all one word, and boom! That's exactly what you'll see. Smash that subscribe button so you'll be notified when new episodes of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour are loaded up to YouTube. Also coming soon are going to be exclusive interviews, promos. I might even cut a promo myself. Talk about how Dilly Dollar swings a chair like a girl. All this and more coming up, fans, right here on our YouTube channel. Check it out. Wrestling for Christ, WFC, every episode ever made of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour, right there at your fingertips. Check it out.
Welcome back, viewers, to our favorite part of the show, Finding Tomorrow. Now, in Finding Tomorrow this time, we're going to take a step backwards a little bit, just to make sure that our loyal listeners have been paying attention to. No more Armor of the Lord, not directly anyway, but hopefully y'all have heard Jody or me, or both of us over the last year or so, talked about how whether it's us, whether it's your local pastor, your favorite TV personality or internet personality, or heaven forbid, YouTube or TikTok, don't just take what people say at face value. Read the Bible for yourself. Take a physical Bible, not just, I can't show you my phone because I'm using my phone to do this, but take a physical Bible to church with you. Make notes in it. Go home. Take notes in the bulletin if they give you a bulletin. And study what's being taught to you by yourself. With AI, and we all know how I feel about AI, I think. If not, I'll get to that in a little bit later. Not tonight. But Jody, you had a TikTok. I believe you said it was today that kind of really spells out the importance for doing this, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, Mike. So I am much more of the TikTok AI Google internet user than I think you are. And so yeah, I scroll TikTok, and it's a guilty pleasure sometimes. Sometimes it's a valuable one, like today, in that it showed me how we should not view scripture. Sometimes scripture is so important. Context is so important. It's so important to read not just one verse and make it. Anybody can take a verse out of the Bible and make it say what they want it to, or imply what they want it to mean. And I saw this today, Psalms 46:10, which actually says, "Be still and know that I am the Lord." Now, some translations will say to stop striving, which I don't like. I really don't like those translations. You have to also be careful of translations as well. And we're going to do a Finding Tomorrow on biblical translations in a future date. So definitely tune into that. But what this particular one did, it listed Psalms 46:10. And what caught my attention was what was under it, Mike. It said, do not try, do not strive, do not fear, because God is going to bless you and give you all kind of give you everything that you've ever wanted. all of the blessings that you have been asking for, you will receive. This is what it says in Psalms 46:10. So stop striving. Stop trying. Stop trying to earn these things. God's going to give them to you. It was such a blasphemous prosperity gospel teaching. And it really caught my eye because, you know, I knew Psalms 46:10. It's one of those verses that a lot of people know. But if you didn't know it, let's say you didn't memorize that verse. Let's say that's not one you have in your arsenal of memory bank. Read what was under it. It's completely anti-scriptural. There's nothing to validate what was being said. And that's what made me go, wait a minute, Psalms 46:10, isn't that? And then I went to my Bible and I looked it up, and yes, it was. Where in the world are they getting this? And it was from that translation of stop striving. And the context of Psalms 46 is a Psalms about war and turmoil. It's about nations warring against nations, telling nations to put their weapons down. Psalms 46:10 is actually a plea to Christians that are experiencing the turmoil of war, of nations fighting against nations. And the message is not that God's going to give you everything you ever wanted. The message is that to be still and know that God is in control and is in charge and understands and knows all of these things that are happening around you, and to take comfort in that and to lean into God. It has nothing to do with saying, stop trying to earn money because God's going to bless you with $10,000. And oh, by the way, send me $8,000 for my ministry. No, that's not what it is. It's not what it means at all. And so just in all of this, we have to be very diligent. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Mike's word for it. Listen, I am a struggling Christian, just like everybody else, trying to figure out how to live in this crazy world. And I see things that I feel like, and I study the Bible, yes, and I study and I try to learn, but I don't know everything. Don't take what I say at face value. Go validate what I say. Even what I say tonight about Psalms 46:10 and Psalms 46 itself, go validate that. Go study it yourself. Go find trusted sources. And I say trusted sources because that's very important. And truly ask God to allow you to discern what the Bible says. Because context is everything. So many people can manipulate verses out of the Bible. You can ask someone a question. I saw another one that said, is the Mother Mary sinless? That was a legitimate question somebody was asking on TikTok. And I immediately ran to the comments because I'm like, oh, let's see what this is. You wouldn't believe the number of people that said yes.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure.
What? No. I mean, listen, Mother Mary should be revered. She was chosen by God for a reason, just as the disciples were, just as Moses was, just as King David was, just as Solomon was. All of these individuals that are in the Bible are very special because they got to participate in an amazing point in time in human history, but no one is sinless. And there were so many people pointing to all kind of various scriptures to say that she was. It's like, did you read the full chapter? Because that didn't have anything to do with saying she was sinless. She wasn't. She was the mother of Jesus, and thank God for her and for her obedience and for her service as mother of Jesus. But she wasn't sinless. She's not equivalent to God. She's not equivalent to Jesus. And so we just have to be careful.
Yeah, no. I remember, I think the first time I heard anything taught on, and I know we're running out of time, but the first time I heard somebody teach about, be careful about taking verses out of context. You have to have this example. They said, if you're not careful, you open up your Bible and you flip to a verse and you read, Judas went out and hanged himself. And you close it and you flip up into another verse and it says, go thou and do likewise.
Very true.
Expect the Lord to teach you what you need to be taught.
Yep.
And do your due diligence.
Yep.
If you have questions, ask the Lord. He will answer you. That's the whole be still and know that He is God.
There you go. I really want everyone to also be still and know that Coming up next, it's The Clash with Chris Whaley and Jeff Dixon right here on Abundant TV.